So final wrap-up video with Massimo, my client for my CCP final project. What went well, developed a good working relationship with Massimo, even became quite matey, which is unusual. I wasn't expecting that. Good humour, good fun, especially when texting. I think that really helped with his adherence to the programme as well. I felt a little bit uncomfortable, it's a difficult line, which how far to go with that. You don't want to become too good at mates, or mates even, you just want to be his trainer, really. But it really, he's a really good guy. I really liked him, and I think really helped with the adherence to the program as well. So it kept him kind of a bit inspired to come to training, and that he's a really good client to work with. As I said before, in his intake form or his initial consultation, he's a list person. He follows recipes at work, given the work to do, and he'll do it. So I really latched onto that. Good to see him actually feeling a bit better, moving a little bit better, albeit in a short period of time. He hadn't done anything really in a long time, so it was just getting him moving was good. I enjoy seeing people feel free when they start to move. I felt our sessions were quite well planned, covering his priorities, motor control and mobility, cardiovascular endurance, and the intensities were about right. How I set them up initially, didn't really have to alter them too much, or extend them too much either, or advance them too much, or increase the pace too much. He was just about right. He enjoyed map work. That was really good to see. He was getting a metabolic effect. He was breathing heavy. He was sweating, but he was able to sustain the cycles in each map, which is good. And it was good to see him working hard and getting a response. What did not go as planned? He didn't like the app at all. Ended up not really using it or communicating through it at all. He did upload his intake form, and that was it really. Everything else was through text or email, mainly text actually. Twice per week, obviously, as I knew from the start, wasn't enough. I told him this, but he couldn't do anything else with his busy schedule. Because of his low training age, we needed at least 3-4 times a week to get some progress. So momentum was quite slow. It was also difficult with the session. He sometimes had to postpone a session because we couldn't fit a session in to meet our schedules because he worked. I have 2 young kids and he worked long hours, so I couldn't do too late at night or too early in the morning sometimes with school drop-offs. So that kind of clashed a little bit, but it was really good learning for me in terms of he's my only client at the moment. Just starting off. So if I had a big client book, what would I do? And I'd have to be very strict on how much manoeuvring I could do scheduling wise. I was quite flexible for him because I had the time, especially during the day. So the days he was off in the mornings, we trained together. But if I had a busy client book, that wouldn't be able to happen. I'd have to fill those spaces up. We trained in a park as well, which is a little bit restrictive. It was perfect for what we needed to do and get him back into exercise. And practically where we both live near enough to the same park on the other side. So that worked really well. But I have suggested going to a gym for the next bit to mix up his program. What did I learn? I learned about kyphosis for the first time, how restrictive it is, how difficult it is for some people. Referring them to the physio was good. I got some good feedback from him, and I actually learned what I was doing before. What I planned to do at Massimo before the physio gave me advice was actually the right thing. The physio kind of told me the same things back, what to do. And I also learned there's a lot you can still do with an injury or a restriction like kyphosis. You can still do lots, even with your arms and your shoulders and your back. It's a big thing I learned was mainly to be patient in sessions. He vented an awful lot about work, and it kind of a couple of times we'd lose the intensity of the session. He was working really hard, and then he'd get into this big conversation about work, and I'd have to keep reminding him to come back and keep the same pace or keep the same intensity. So that was a little bit tricky, but it was good learning for me. I learned I was pretty good at planning out a session. I'm a teacher by trade, as a high school teacher, so I plan lessons that are roughly an hour long. So my timings were good and my intensities were quite good. I was happy about that. What did your client learn? Never used resistance bands before. That was good. He really enjoyed that. At the start of every session, a good 10 minutes of mobility. Not just bands, but the whole body bands floor approach I took. He really enjoyed that. Progress is slow. He learned that pretty quickly. Very disappointed after the retest. It was only 4 or 5 weeks in, but his body comp results weren't going to really move. If we had 4 or 5 times a week, as I explained to him, we probably would have had a little bit of shift in his body fat. but not with twice a week, and his busy work schedule and his lack of being able to adhere to a good nutrition plan. He got some confidence back, and he learned that, I think. It was good to see him smiling again and enjoying running and enjoying doing different things, and lifting a little bit of weight, and that he enjoyed that. Game plan moving forward. We've been training together now for 6 months. It's worked really well. He's still training. He's signed up for another 10 session or another block of sessions, and he's up. He likes my idea of going to a gym for the next block, which I really want to do. Get him doing kind of lifting some weights, doing some compound moves with light weights, getting him doing some more interesting mixed modal work for cardiovascular work and endurance. Just playing around with some of the machines in the gym, the rower, etc. Although that's unilateral, so I'm not sure he'll be able to do that, or a ski erg. But treadmills and using different resistance in the gym would be really good. So it's been a really positive experience. Really enjoyed it. Perfect client to have from a final project. Kind of worked really well. I charge him a little bit less than the going rate here because he was my only client and I wanted to use him fully for my project, and he was very adaptable for that and doing all the testing and everything, so it worked really well.